Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Miscellaneous Candor. Frank, honest, and otherwise outspoken. Here we are. Yes, we are going to be recording. Just like I said, we were off a little bit for the last couple of weeks due to Stephen and I's travel schedule. However, we are back. And we are back with a vengeance!
Wait a second, we weren't off. We were just off schedule.
I knew you were going to say something. Anyway, hi, Stephen!
Hello, Robbie. It is
Stephen with a
I,
PH.
Stephen with a PH Kennedy, board certified atheist at your service. I don't know if you guys tuned in to the last episode. I hope you do. But Robbie was talking shit again about
Shit.
my about me being an atheist.
No, I wasn't. We were
Oh,
talking
you did.
about
You
Diddy.
did. You
What?
apparently said something to the something around I didn't have a moral compass because I was an atheist. That's what it amounted to. Whatever you said, I can't remember the exact.
Okay, first of all, you're just trying to start stuff because you know I didn't say anything like
It
that,
was
and
it
I
was it
go
was around about that.
back
It pretty
and
much came
play
in that.
that, play the episode that will not be a part. I never said that.
I'm gonna tell you
Oh
exactly
my
in
God,
your
whatever. All right,
I
this is not
I
true.
just I just felt a little offended. I felt hurt.
You
I felt
always feel.
abused. I felt like a victim. I felt like Cassie Ventura.
That's where this is going. I was like, okay, let me just hush for a minute because he's going somewhere with this in
I'm
this
just saying.
relationship.
I
Just
felt I felt like
oh,
I felt
all right,
victimized. Is what I'm saying. I
okay.
retract.
So you just wanted to say that you felt like a victim, like Cassie, because we talked about Diddy last week. Okay, you got it out. So, did you listen to any podcasts this week?
I started, but I don't want to. I just start. I started on one. I'm kind of shy slash ashamed to admit it, but I've only listened to one episode. I want to hold off on this till next week till I listen to some more.
Okay, can I tell you this though?
Tell me.
Okay, so I didn't listen to any new podcasts. Unlike you, I'm just gonna be honest with the audience. But what I will say is that you know your podcast with Tommy Lee's wife that you said you liked?
Yeah. What's her name? I can't remember her name now.
I don't know. You're the one that
I
listened to the
didn't like it.
podcast,
I said she was annoying. I didn't.
but you
I
said you followed and started listening to you thought she
because
was hot.
only because she's attractive, and then I got sick of all looking at all the plastic and
Okay, anyway,
and the
she's
conversations
divorcing
I
him.
told you were like Real Housewives of whatever
Did you hear
Orange
what I just
County.
said?
What?
She's divorcing him.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, interesting.
She
Maybe
said he
I'm
drinks
a
too
little.
much.
Wow. What? I mean, does that really surprise you? The guy's
No,
fucking
it
nuts.
doesn't. I
He's
just thought it
fucking
was
nuts.
funny because you were talking about it and you were talking about her, and then I'm like, oh my God, now she's getting a
He.
divorce from
Can you? Okay.
him.
Everyone knows for a fact that anyone that is familiar with Tommy Lee and his past and the Motley Crue, he is fucking nuts. He literally is not all there, but women will still engage with him because not all women, some women, and especially idiots that will marry the guy because
Because of the rumor
what room? Oh, I didn't even remember that part. What's the rumor, Robbie? Please enlighten our audience if they don't know.
that he has a big, you know what?
That's right. Also,
That's what word on the street is. I don't know. I've never seen
I was just saying because he's a big time celebrity and part of a heavy, like
it. No,
a big band.
I don't
But
think that's
also
not a
the
big. Yeah, he has a big, you know what?
that's not the it's because of the money, the celebrity, the treatment that comes along with it. Even though he's fucking nuts, and of course she was gonna leave him. Even yeah, anyone's gonna leave him. He's fucking nuts. Even Pamela Anderson would leave him, and she's fucking nuts.
Okay, all
I got
right.
out of my system. Okay.
I see. I'm just letting you get it out your system. Just letting you get it out. So, oh, there's also something else I want to say about podcasts, even though I didn't listen to any new ones. So, you know, I love Prof G Markets. Um, I did start to listen to part of Josh Brown. Oh, also too, the CEO of Google was on the All In podcast this past week. That was
Oh
interesting.
yeah. What did
Yeah.
he have to say?
I didn't listen to it because it was like 2 hours and I didn't have the time. But what I was going to say about Prop G Markets is that evidently Scott Galloway and Ed Elson have their demographic. They have more 30-year-olds listening to them on their podcast, which is about the markets and about financial, information, etc.,
Interesting.
than in the 30-year-old demographic of males than CNBC does.
I believe that just because of the medium we're talking about.
Mhm.
There are.
That's crazy. That's
It is
crazy.
crazy. Yeah, if you just put it, right next to each other, yes, it sounds crazy. But the reason I believe it makes sense is because a lot more younger people are going to be listening to podcasts versus older people that'll be watching CNBC on TV.
I mean, I get it. I'm not saying that. I'm not contesting whether it's true or not. I don't know why you were.
No, no, no.
I
I'm just saying
thought
I
that
get it. I get it.
it was just crazy. It was
That
like,
is
wow.
crazy. That is
So
crazy, but I get it.
yeah, yeah. And evidently they've only been on for
But
like a
then,
little over a year or something like that.
but then it also goes to
So
another big factor, right? Is that
mhm.
um, traditional news stations are not relied upon as heavily as they used to be. It's more about. I'm sorry.
I said, I know. I just was
Yeah.
saying, I know. I was whispering it rather than saying it. I don't even know why I did that. I was just
And
in the moment.
and, and a lot of it's triggered because of who. It's a whole movement. You know, our you know what I'm talking about. Just politics in general has moved the what is it? Moved the needle.
Uh-huh. I think so.
Speaking of moving the
Oh,
needle,
you wanna
I
talk yes, I know you wanna talk about AI because we had some conversations, and there were a few different topics around AI that you wanted to discuss, so let's transition.
sure, but I just wanted to bring up one thing. I heard you
Oh,
say
you weren't talking about AI then,
no,
okay.
I wasn't. I just want to say I heard you say also too. Now, Robbie, as we know, that's not
Okay, let's not even go there.
grammar.
We are not
I'm just a little
going to
stickler when it
be the
comes to
grammar
grammar.
police on the podcast, okay? This is a podcast. This
Right,
is
right. I
not
apologize. Yes,
an
I forget.
instructional
Yeah.
webinar about how to not split your um, verbs and adverbs and all of that stuff. That's come on
Okay.
now.
Okay.
Yes, I know I said also too. Sometimes I say like a lot on here. I'll say actually this or something. Yes, sometimes I don't always put the words together, but
But
that's the whole part about being authentic
you,
on
you
the
know,
podcast
you're right, and
medium.
you didn't let me
So
finish what I wanted to say.
no,
I
I'm not
want
going to let you
no.
finish
Let me
because
finish.
you're not going to
I just want to
call
say
this out.
no,
No,
no, no,
no,
no,
no.
no.
You're not gonna call
I'm
this
not
out as
calling
if
it
I
out.
don't know that I'm not saying
I,
things always in
I,
the proper way
that's what I'm trying to
based
make a point
on
about.
quote
That's what I'm trying
unquote
to.
King's English
That's
standards.
what I'm trying to say.
Saying
Is
that
that
I don't
even
know
though
that.
it is
You're not
not,
gonna call that out on
yeah,
me.
of
No.
course
I
not. What
do, but sometimes I'm just talking.
yeah,
And when you
that's
just
what I'm
talk,
trying to
you
say.
just
I'm
say
trying to
what you
say
what are you trying to
sometimes
say?
it's
I'm gonna stop talking over you and let you actually say something now, but I need to get my point across. So I'm gonna
yes.
stop. What were you trying to say?
What I wanted to say was that even though many times something may not be grammatically correct, it makes much more of a point and it gives much more of your feelings, what you're trying to express, and therefore it makes sense. So, there, you let me finish now. I was complimenting you. Jeez, it really hurts my feelings.
I don't
Really,
no, 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 no. I don't want you to, like, try to dress up Ebonics. We're not doing that.
dress up,
What
are we, what?
I don't
What? Where,
yes,
where is
but I
this
can't.
conversation going?
I just I mean, I can't believe I said Ebonics,
I
by the way.
can't believe it either. Okay, Robbie, let's reel it back
There's
in,
actually a
Robbie.
joke.
Let
Can
me
I just
let me
say
reel it back in, Robbie, like usual.
can I just say there's a joke
I
amongst
know.
us volleyball moms, 'cause, I'm an ex-volleyball
Oh,
mom, and there was a woman who said Ebonics, and we were like, "Who says Ebonics?" So then she was, Caucasian, and she was
oh,
talking about Ebonics in reference to, quote, unquote, "having black friends." It was totally, like, uncomfortable, awkward, and ridiculous.
Did she
But
say,
there was a
"Hey,
joke in
I
front.
got
There was
one
a
black
joke.
friend too"? Did she say
Yeah,
that?
yeah, that kind of like that, spoke Ebonics. It was just very like, "Why are you saying this?" Right? And so she said this, and we were like, "Ebonics? Who says Ebonics?" And so then all of us as a group, when we would refer to her, we would call her Ebonics.
That's so mean. Oh my god.
I'm sorry. I
Oh,
just had to say that.
damn it! I'm so disappointed in myself. I said, "Oh my god." Oh, ugh.
Is that mean? You know you think that's funny.
That is funny. That is really funny,
I
actually.
knew you did. I was like, "Who am I talking to? Oh, that's so mean." That is definitely not your
I
MO.
would do exactly the same thing.
Exactly, that's what I mean. And I didn't even come up with it. It was just like, part of the group thing. Anyway, um, we digress, people. We
That
digress.
went way off topic.
It totally did. That was like a bad friends sort of rabbit hole
I love it. Let's keep it
dynamic.
going, Robbie. Thank you.
No, I don't want
Yes,
to.
you
Okay,
have
let's go back
arrived.
on track. Back on track.
Okay.
Okay, so did you have something to talk about with regard to AI or not?
I did actually.
Okay.
So there is something I've been keeping my eye on. It's called. There's an app called Crisp. Crisp is a transcription app. That's a noise. They have different tools, different products within that app. So there's transcription. There is noise reduction. There's a few other different tools you can use. And something that they've come out with recently, and which I have different opinions about. I think it's good, but it's bad. It's harmful. There's all sorts of emotions mixed into this new product they've come out with, which is a accent conversion app specifically for the Indian accent. Now, just off the face of it, you think so. Basically, and you can apply this app to any of the mainstream meeting products. So with Zoom, with Teams, with several other different products that are meeting products. And I, so at first on the face of it, I thought, hey, that's actually a very useful app.
Okay, so can
That's
you actually kind of break it down for the audience in terms of exactly what this app does?
Yeah.
Thank you.
So sorry, I thought I explained it. I'm getting there, Robbie. Just give me a
You
minute.
kind of did, but
Okay,
I
I'm gonna
just
get.
want
Okay,
to
yeah,
get a
you're right. Let
little
me
bit
let me
more.
explain it. Let me explain it. Thank you for
Thank you.
thank you. So what happens is you got this app which is called Crisp, and they have different services, different tools you can use on this app related to online meetings. So when you're doing a screen share meeting or not, so you can use a product called Teams, Microsoft Teams. Most of our audience is probably familiar with Teams and Zoom. I think everyone's familiar with Zoom. So when you're having a meeting, and you're even sharing the screen with someone, you can be talking in real time. Once you link this app called Crisp, you can link it to the meeting app and turn on this tool called accent conversion. And it's right now they've only rolled it out for the Indian accent. So I can have a heavy Indian accent, and when I speak in English, in for example Zoom, and I'm looking at you, and I'm talking to you in real time, this app Crisp will convert my accent into more of an English accent, more of a sorry. What I mean is an American accent. So it's supposed to retain your tone, the tone of your voice, and your mannerisms of your voice. Um, and they've come out just last month. They came out with version 3, which is supposed to be really upgraded, more precise version. But you can still, it still sounds a little robotic. It doesn't sound exactly, natural, but it does definitely clean up the accent. Sorry, I shouldn't say clean up. It does definitely convert the accent to a more American accent, which would be more clear for someone in the U.S. to understand easily. So
How is it spelled crisp with a C, like
it's
the
Chris
actual
with a
word,
K.
or
Chris
crisp
with
with
a
a
K.
K?
Yeah.
Crisp with a
You know,
K.
it's got to be a little
I know.
fancy with some. You know what they do.
So who came up with this?
It's two guys that. Well, one of the guys was at
Are
Twilio. I'm
are
sorry.
either of them Indian?
No, they're Armenian, and they were. I believe they are based in the Bay Area, in Berkeley.
Of course they are. Go on. So
Well,
what do you think what do you think of, I mean, because this is like very Bay Area focus, it seems like it. I mean, if you think I mean in terms of just the whole Silicon Valley vibe, right?
yeah.
So what do you think of this
Well, I'll tell you this.
as an
So,
Indian man? Like,
yes,
what do you think of this?
let me tell you what I think about this. So there's many different aspects of this, right? So I think it's important to remember that we are not all living in a global community, right? We are going to have to deal with, and it's important that we do. It's a privilege that we all get to deal with people across the world, and I think it's important for everyone to learn how to communicate and understand people with different accents. When we have products like this that remove people's accents, and sorry, when I don't mean remove, when I say change it to an American accent, what exactly are we doing? I feel like we're kind of limiting our own development, our own growth. We're not fixing someone else's accent. We're harming our own development, our own ability to communicate and understand other people, other cultures. Um,
So does it only do right now Indian to American English?
yeah.
Interesting.
Now, like you said, it's probably because there are so many Indians in tech in the Bay Area, and they thought, okay, this is a problem that we can resolve. So that's probably what they're looking at doing. The other thing I was thinking about when I saw this was, are they thinking, who's going to use this, right? It's Who's heavily going to use this is the call centers in India that call people in the U.S., right? Now, I don't think this makes sense because it's not, and you know this about me. It's not when people call when I get telesales calls from India. It's not the fact that they're calling me from India. It's not the fact that they have an Indian accent. It's two things that really annoy the fuck out of me. Number one, you got my number and you're doing a really annoying sales call, which I hate, just like everyone. We get sales calls all day long. Number two is what really annoys me is that they try to sound like an American and give themselves a fake American name, and it just sounds completely idiotic. And I always respond, I'll have a conversation with these people. I'll tell them, listen, be authentic. That's not your name, and you're trying to sound American, but you sound foolish. Be authentic with me, be who you are, and I'll respect you, and I'll have a conversation with you. But I think they'll use this app heavily. What are your thoughts, Robbie?
I'm sorry, I was on mute by mistake. Um, I don't
Did you
know.
did you hear
I
what
was
I've been saying?
I did hear what you were saying.
Okay.
I did hear what you were saying. I just think this is so interesting that you found this app. Like, I have so many questions on how you found this app. How did you hear about it?
I heard about it because my buddy posted it on one of his social media. I think it was Instagram stories.
And what did he think about it?
I haven't talked to him about it actually.
Are they selling this? Like, is it a
Well, so I'm not sure. So you can get the app for free, and you can use some of their tools for free. Now, specifically the language conversion,
uh-huh.
sorry, the accent
So it
conversion.
does more than just the language conversion of
Yeah,
an Indian
they have,
accent to an American accent.
yeah, there are
Does it
several different tools in there. There's transcription, there's noise reduction, there's a few other items on there too.
okay.
So
Okay,
this is
but
just a
that's
really
the
for basic.
only but I'm think because there's so many different accents even within this country. Like, you
Yeah,
have an accent, like the Southern accent, obviously, everyone knows about the Southern accents too, but even in, like, the Boston accent, right? The New
yeah,
York accent, the Bay Area has a certain accent. Chicagoans have certain accents. Even people, there's different types of Southern
yeah.
accents, and even people from the Midwest, what is it? People from North Dakota and South Dakota have a different accent. So I'm trying to understand, why did they just I mean, I get Indian based upon the customer service part that you say. But how about when they have customer support in Mexico, or customer
Yeah.
support in the Philippines, or customer support, like I said, in the other place in the United States? So I don't know how I feel about the one dimensional selection
Well,
of just an Indian accent. I mean,
you
I'm just trying to figure out what the
yeah.
deal is with that. I mean, that stands out to me.
Yeah, I mean, my guess is they're going to roll out more languages, but this is probably they're in the Bay Area, right? So this is probably one of the more common languages that they more common nationalities that they come across that have accents, and many Indian people have strong Indian accents when they speak
Yes.
English. So that they've probably come across it very often, and they jumped on that one first. It might be the most prominent,
I mean,
in the
I
Bay
get
Area.
it because, yes, there's some Indians do have stronger accents than others, and you do have to actually, you know, work your brain a little bit to listen.
Yeah,
But on the other side too, they could be thinking the same thing. And then from a and even there's other different cultures in the Asian continent where there's different accents. So I don't know. Honestly, I have to be honest with you. I don't quite know how I feel about this yet. I mean, I really don't. I mean, I'm a little I understand it, but I'm a bit bothered by it, but at the same time, I I'm trying to figure out why they picked that one. I have so many questions, I have so many questions.
can I play a sample for you?
Sure.
So, and for you and for our audience. So this is a
Okay. I am gonna
sample.
go on mute because I wanna hear this clearly so they don't hear the background noise of where I am. So go on.
Okay, so this is a sample of a male.
Hello, my name is Manoj and I'm a call center agent from India.
Call center.
Clear communication is vital for my customers and me, but accent barriers can sometimes make it challenging. That's where crisp accent conversion comes in. Let me show you the voice preservation mode in action. This mode keeps my original voice intact while softening challenging parts of my accent. It helps customers understand me better, improving satisfaction on both sides of the call. I turned it off now, so you can hear the difference clearly. I'll now turn it on again. Notice how my natural tone and personality shine through? This mode allows me to stay authentic, making every interaction more personal and effective. By removing accent barriers in real time, crisp accent conversion enables clear conversations and ensures an exceptional experience for both customers and agents alike. Thank you for watching this demo.
Yeah, so there we go. So it does sound robotic, but it
It
definitely
does
plenty
sound
more.
robotic. I mean, I get it. I mean, I understand why it would be done, but what about the opposite way? I don't know. I mean, I'm just like I feel like it needs to have a little bit I
Talk to me, Robbie. What's on your
I
mind?
don't even know what to say, honestly. Like I said, it seems one-sided. I understand why, but
But I get,
what
my thing
what
is,
about the other side too?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
there's sometimes people and what how about translation? Why can't why does it have to be an accent? I think that's the part. I mean, I get the accent can be strong, but also to do are they doing translation as well?
They're doing
Like if someone
transcription, not translation.
exactly. So why wouldn't they do translation? Like if someone is speaking another language.
That's
Like if you have
a good
teams
idea.
that are in other countries, right? Yeah, of course they probably know English, but let's say they didn't.
Yeah,
Or their English was
yeah.
was not that good. Why can't you do that?
So
I don't it seems like it's just trying to take a little bit of the authenticity out of it. But however, I get that sometimes you can struggle, and particularly with older people, I will say that in this country, they might struggle with hearing exactly what people are saying.
yeah, that's a good
Um,
point. That's a very good
if
point. Yeah,
they have if they have a strong accent. So I can see it in that use case.
yeah.
Um, but I don't know, like I said, I
But
I
do
see
you think
the
it
value
create?
of it, but there's a part of me that is bothered by it.
Let me ask you: do you think it would create? So, if suppose I'm a person in India with a heavy Indian accent, or even not a heavy accent, and I have a meeting with an American, and do you think it would be stigmatizing for me to say, "Hold on, let me put on my accent conversion app"? I
Well, that's
mean,
what I mean,
that's
like,
kind
that's what I'm
of.
saying. That's why I was asking you, how do you feel?
I mean, I don't know. I don't have an Indian accent, and I'm not living
I
in
know you
India.
don't. I know you don't, but I'm just saying if you had anyone that is, like,
I,
far related from you in
I
your
think.
family or someone like that, I mean,
Well, I
how would
mean,
you
I
feel
have
like
colleagues that live in India, and
yeah.
I
Would you wanna tell them that? You put your Indian accent, what is it, depressor on so that I can understand what the fuck you're saying. I mean, it's kind of like that's
yeah.
kind
No,
of a
now
little
there's
bit of
a
the
now
tone.
here's the thing. If someone needs to speak clearly and enunciate more, that's one thing. We can be very direct about that. But if it's about the
Yes.
accent, that's a different story, right? Um, and I think it would be it's a little harsh to tell someone, hey, turn on your American accent conversion app on so I can understand you. That's offensive. That's rude. That's very small-minded American typical, or Western world typical.
But I mean, but given what this product is, I can see that happening,
Yeah, absolutely. And you're gonna
like
have a
all the
lot of
time.
it's yeah, you're right, absolutely right. That's gonna be bad, right? That's not good.
So that's why I mean, I don't. There's a part of me that gets it, and there's another part of me that thinks it's kind of crass and
And
kind of rude,
um,
insulting. I mean, I don't. This is a lot.
you
Where do you
know, a
find this
lot
stuff?
of a lot of Americans, we
I
speak
know where you find it.
not me. I try not to do this, but a lot of Americans speak in short form, which isn't
Yes.
proper English. We're like, you wanna go to the store,
Mhm.
So
Yes.
people in India cannot understand. Well, I'm making a generalization, but from what I've heard, sometimes it's difficult for someone in India to understand what the American's saying when they speak like that, right? With all this
Well,
kind of
that's why I asked, why isn't there like a back and
yeah,
forth
yeah,
version?
that's a good point.
So sorry guys, I'm yawning.
You're
Um,
yawning, man.
we're in different time zones. Plus, I go to
That's
bed
right.
early.
I should be the one yawning.
You should be, but you never are,
Yeah,
and I'm always the one that's, going to bed like an old woman. Um, I'm always ready
that's
to go
true.
take a nap. Naps are so good for you. Anyway, that is very interesting on the AI front. It really is. Okay, what are we going to talk about in terms of general interests? Because
Did
we've been
you have any updates on you know who?
what diddy.
Yeah.
As I saw something on, you're gonna love this. I saw something on YouTube, and it was called Itty Bitty Diddy.
Yeah.
Itty bitty ditty.
Because why don't you tell our audience the rumor out there that's
You already talked about the rumor last week when you were saying that he had a little pee pee, and you were saying that multiple times. You don't remember
right?
that?
Yeah, I
But yeah,
remember.
there is a rumor that his it's only as big as a small Tootsie Roll. And that's
Tootsie Roll.
so weird. I don't I mean, who comes up
You
with stuff
see
like
your
that? But
Tootsie Roll?
anyway, but yes, so yeah, when I saw the itty bitty ditty thing, I just was like, oh my god. So somebody from Danity Kane, Don Richards, or as she likes sometimes to be referred to as Dawn Richard, um, was on the stand and she was testifying about how she saw Diddy beat Cassie with a frying pan. They also showed pictures of Cassie's beatings to the jury,
Wow.
which were really crazy. And then and sad, very, very sad, because she looked, I mean, he was beating her. Um, and so then Diddy's lawyers got up there in terms of cross examination of Dawn, and they were just saying that she was a liar. They just totally said she was a liar. Which you notice they didn't say that about Cassie. They,
Mm,
the redirects, and they challenged her to say that you liked this too, but they didn't say she was a liar. But
mhm.
they said Dawn was a liar. So, I thought that was interesting. And then they just said, how you can't just bring people up here willy nilly. And the judge was like, hold up. You knew she was going to be a witness for months. So you can't say that she's just coming out of the woodwork. You
Mhm.
knew that she was on the roster as a witness to be
Yep.
called. So, that was that. I guess the biggest part, and then they also too showed some pictures of like drugs, of when he was picked up, when he
Mhm.
was going to turn himself in, and they showed the little small packets of the pink cocaine and some anxiety medicine that he was taking. So we had taken anxiety medicine and pink cocaine at the same time.
Hmm.
That's so crazy. Before he went to jail, that's what he was doing. Um, it's
Oh
just
man.
so you can't make this stuff up. You literally can't. It's just on another level. So it'll be I'm not sure who they're going to call. I will say this. When they call what's her name, his the current girlfriend that he had, Young Miami, that's gonna
Young, is
be
that who? Okay. Is that his new girlfriend?
no, that's the woman he was with the most recent,
Okay.
but he was really taking care of her. So it'll be interesting to see if she's gonna be more of like a witness for the defense or a witness for the prosecution.
Oh boy.
So I don't know. That'll be that. But okay, I have to say I know that you try to like drop these sound bites in, but
You like that? Or
no
it
one
doesn't
is gonna
sound like you do.
accuse you of going to sound engineering school. I can tell you that right.
You know what? You're absolutely right. I can't argue with that.
There's no like easing in or anything. It's just kind of like random. I had no idea, audience,
I just
that
like to
was coming.
surprise you.
So yeah, thanks for that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't really. That was it. That was really it from the Diddy perspective.
Okay.
Um, yeah. So I think we're gonna call it. This one's actually shorter than the last one. Oh my God, I have to tell the audience this, and I'm so sorry for people who listened to our Diddy episode and then I said it was a mini pod and it looked like it was an hour and a half. Evidently, when I was putting it together, um, there was an extra track like far, far down, so it captured it as an hour. But
What?
I did, I know, but I did correct it. So now, if you go there, you'll see that it's 42 minutes. So yeah, I just wanted to tell people that in case they were
So
like, "Why is this say an hour, but you guys finished only halfway through?" It was because I made a boo boo.
even 42
But
minutes is not a mini pod.
I know it's not,
But we
but
were
that's what
having
we
fun,
called
so
it in the beginning.
you were
I
getting excited about the whole Diddy trial. We had to, keep it going.
I was. Okay, all right. Well, have a wonderful week, everyone, and we will talk to you next week. Yes, yes, yes. We will both be more prepared with podcasts, AI conversations, and of course, that's probably going to be more conversation about Diddy. I mean, you know, and other things. We're going to talk about some other things too, because there are some things actually I did want to talk about from a human interest perspective, but let's save it till next week. All right, Steve?
All right, my friend. It is I, Stephen Kennedy, my friends. Stephen with a PH, Kennedy. Board certified atheist. At your service. I have got a hot bowl of chicken curry and naan waiting for me. So I will talk to you soon. Thank you for joining us.
Enjoy the naan. Bye, everyone. See you later.